Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Kinfolk Farm. Appreciate you guys stopping by. Today, first of all, we're going to go let the birds out, let the chickens and the ducks out, what we do every morning, feed them, get their day started. Then we're headed over to my son's house. I want to show you guys how you can grow muscadines on your property in a little small area. Super easy. So stick around. We're headed over to my son's house to have some fun. Well, we are at my son's new house, and I absolutely love this place. Super nice little place. My son's first house. We're really excited about having a house. And we keep telling him he needs to do this, needs to do that. He's like, I'm not doing all that junk y'all do. But he did want some muscadine. So we're here today to finish up our little muscadine vine that we started for my son. What we got to do today is just put in the wire and the irrigation. I didn't bring all the little pieces that go with it. I'm just going to run the hose. I'll come and do that later, but I'll show you guys the basic setup of putting in some muscadines on your little small piece of property. It's really easy. What you'll need first is 2 end posts, one here and one down there. And these are 5-inch. You can go bigger if you like. A lot of people, I think personally, overthink these end posts. What we've learned is 5-inch end posts is basically all you really need, because there's not a lot of tension on the wire for just a little shorter distance. But 5-inch, they'll be 8 foot tall. We sink them in the ground 2 foot, concrete them. We'll drill a hole. We'll drill some holes in these things. I'll show you that here in a minute. But they were $15 a piece. So if you want to add up how much it's going to cost, they were $15 a piece. You'll need 2. You'll need 2 of 6.5 foot T-posts. They were about $5 a piece. And your plants. And we've already got the plants in the ground. We've already got these guys in the ground. We did that a couple weeks ago. We're just coming over here to finish up. But we got 3 plants. We have Supreme, Ison, Supreme. And this is a self-fertile. This will help cross-pollinate these other 2 Supremes. So it's really going to work out good. But what we're going to basically do today is run our line and run our irrigation, get these started up to the top wire, and I'll show you how we do all that. It's really simple. The plants, they're $10 a piece from Ison's Nursery. Go check them out. I say it all the time. Go check them out. They do ship. I'd put your trellises in because I believe they ship bare root. So when you get them in, you want to get them in the ground. They'll come in dormant, so you really don't have a lot to worry about. Not much more I can think about. Super simple. You'll need to space your rows out 20 foot. From here to your first T-post will be 20 foot. That's 20 foot, and that's 20 foot. And you'll put your plant in the center at 10 foot. That way when it grows up, it'll go 10 foot that way, 10 foot that way. Super simple. That'll be where your best grapes are being grown. So we got to drill some holes in these posts and run some wire. It's starting to rain, of course, but we're going to get this done. You could see we've already drilled holes, and you can see how we're running it from here straight down there. We drilled a hole here, and we drilled a hole here. This will be for our irrigation. This will be for our top wire for our vines to climb on. And this is called a wire vise. You can get these on Amazon. Super cool little tool. You really don't have to have them. You can actually just pull your wire through and wrap it and tighten it, but your line will sag. The benefit of buying a wire vise is when you pull your line through, when you let go, it stops, it grabs it. So the more you pull, it just stops, it won't go back through. And so we pull it really tight and then just wrap it and leave a little extra so if something was to happen. But wire vices are awesome. They're on Amazon. They're basically about $2 a piece, something like that. But let me drill these other 2 holes out and we'll start running some wire. Now you're going to need a nice long drill bit, not exactly sure the size. But what we do is I try to start at my chest. I like to drill my hole about chest level. That way when your vines are growing along your wire, and over the years when you're trying to work your vines, you want your grapes right here at chest level. You don't want to be reaching for your grapes or bending for your grapes. You want them chest level. So I put everything chest level. Your irrigation down here on the bottom, I put it about knee high. That way when you go to cut grass, you ain't got to worry about accidentally hitting it with your lawnmower. Now once you have your hole, we're just going to bore it out to where that wire vise will slide right in. Okay, next you're going to need a 9-gauge wire, and we just slide it through the hole, add it to the wire vise, and I pull a little slack out, so if I ever have to do anything with this wire, I have a little extra to play with. But you can see it won't go back through, and I just take and wrap it like so. Then we'll run it down the line. Well, it's really just as simple as that. Now, if you really wanted to get that wire tight, you could hook, like what I do. I hook a come along to it and just tighten it. But you can tighten it more than you need to have it snap. I've had that happen before, and that's a pain in the butt. But what we're using is a 9-gauge wire. I don't know if I said that earlier. Not sure how much that roll was. It was a 170-foot roll. You can buy all this stuff at Tractor Supply. We buy everything from Ison's. I get everything from Ison's, but if you're just doing a small little vineyard, small little couple vines on your property, you can buy everything at Tractor Supply. And the prices I've been giving you for the $15, the $5 T-post, all that has been from prices from Tractor Supply. So to me, that's the cheapest place to go that I've found if you just buy it retail like that. But Home Depot and all them places, they're a little more expensive. And also, when we tie this wire on, the little wire ties, Tractor Supply, if you don't, they will supply them with the T-posts, the fence clips. Home Depot don't, they charge you extra for them. So there's your $1.50 savings. But let me go tie these wires to the post, and I'll show you what we do to our muscadines next. These are the little clips I'm talking about. You want to keep everything about chest high, so when you're working your grapes, All right, remember guys, our plants are already in the ground. So what I want to do is find where my plant is. You're going to need you some string. And what I do is I tie a piece of string from the top down to the bottom. And that'll give something for your vine. That'll give your vines a way to climb up, and when they hit the top, they can take off. Okay, now when you get your plants, they're just going to be, because they've grown them up from one cutting, they just grow out over the summer to get ready to sell, and they just take off all over the place. So what you want to do is find, to me, your best vine, or you can call it your longest vine. But I try to look for a really healthy, thick vine that I know is just going to take off. And this one, it's hard to tell with the dirt all around it, but this one has two big giant growths coming out. So you just sort of look at it, and they'll grow from any vine. So I think okay, I think I decided I'm going to stick with this one. So I'm going to cut everything else off. Get rid of that. Get rid of that, that, and that. And guys, you cannot hurt your plants. You can cut them down to the dirt and they will literally grow right back. You just can't hurt muscadine. They're so easy to grow. But that's what you do. You find your main, or whatever you like, your better vine, whatever suits you, to get started up the wire. And this is the one we chose. Okay, now that we've chosen our vine, we're going to use these Blue X grow tubes. You can actually, it says here, you can find them at www.growtube.com. If you guys want some information on these things, I get them from Ison's Nursery, but www.growtube.com, they may have a little more information than what I can give you on them. They help to, it's sort of like a little greenhouse for your plants. The first year, you cut them off after the first year of growth. But they also help to keep mice and rodents, such as, rodents such as mice and rabbits and stuff, from coming down here nibbling on your plants. I've said it before, I've never had that problem, but I mean, it could have been because I use these, but I like them. Blue X grow tubes. And you just stick your plant through there. Have you some zip ties handy. Zip tie it to your wire, and that's it. And these things this spring will take off, and they'll grab that wire, grab that string, and they'll start growing. And once you get them up, you'll have to start training them down the wire. I'll do videos on that later. Okay guys, on a vine like this, I'm going to show you a little secret. I'm going to cheat. And since this one's got a nice little V in it, and it reaches the top wire, I'm going to cheat and show you guys how we can go ahead and get an early jump on our growth. So that's going to be my main vine right there. Okay guys, sometimes you just get lucky and get a good long plant. And in this case, this Ison variety that he got has a nice V in it. So we could start some growth out of that, and we could start that down the wire, and that'll save a lot of time training these down the wire. The training part's over. All he's got to do is get the growth now. So we're going to use our trusty ribbon gun. You don't have to have this. I got it because I do so many vines. You can actually, he could have done this with a bread tie or a zip strap, just whatever it takes to keep this thing on this wire. These things work great. I'll start that one there, and you don't want to break it. So that's going to be great. He's going to have some nice growth right there. I'm going to go ahead and, I don't know if I want to strap that in on Just going to hook that right there, and that'll work great. Okay, next is the irrigation. This is the part I hate, I think, the worst. Just plastic, especially when it's cold. That plastic's hard, and it's just a big mess. I'm not fond of running this insulation, but it works great. So I think everybody should have irrigation. It saves a lot of water, and it saves a lot of time when you can just turn it on, let it water all night, and you ain't got to fool with it. Next morning you cut the water off. It's just, irrigation is the way to go. So let me run this irrigation real quick. We'll get this over with. Well, that is it. Well, it turned out looking good. Super simple too. It didn't take an hour maybe. Pouring down rain, I'm soaking wet now. The rain stopped, of course, now that I'm done. The irrigation, I just went ahead and ran the hose. I'll come back, because we come over here all the time. Of course, it's my son. We'll come over here and I'll put a female in on here where he can hook his hose to, and then we'll bring some half-gallon per hour emitters. We'll put one that you usually space them about a foot away from your plant, and that way you can you'll do every plant, that way you can water your plants. Later on, in about 4 years, you'll add some more emitters up here, because your roots will actually follow the vine. As your vine's growing up here, your roots underground will follow your vine, so you'll want to add more emitters as you go, but that's 4 years down the road. But that looked really good. He got really lucky and got one. He purchased one that is actually, I mean, got some pretty good growth on it. So this spring, this thing will take off. He shouldn't have no problem getting to the end of the wire. That's your goal, was your first year. You want these plants up and 10 foot each direction. That's your goal for your first year. Your second year, you should start getting a small amount of grapes to tease you for the third year. Because the third year and on, it's just grapes, grapes, grapes. It's just, I'm so obsessed with them. I love them. We'll have to put an end cap on here too. We'll end up putting an end cap on here. We'll put a female in down there and just run his water. It's just really going to be easy. Guys, I hope I can influence you guys to get your grapes. The winter time's the time to plant them. They're all dormant right now. Come spring, they will just take off. Muscadines grow super, super fast. It's amazing. Like I said, the first year you can get them 10 foot each direction. They just grow super, super fast. They're an easy plant to grow. More down here in the south, for you new guys, mostly a southern grape. And if you want some really good quality muscadines, check out Ison's Nursery. I know I plug them on every video I do when it comes to grapes. I just love those guys. They have a ton of different varieties too. Like I said, here we have the 2 Supremes and 1 Ison. They have just a ton of different varieties as far as your muscadines or scumpernongs. So check out Ison's. You can get an online catalog, or they'll ship you a catalog. They ship grapes, vines. You'll love Ison's Nursery, guys. I hope I influenced you guys to start you some grapes. Do me a favor. I hope you liked this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Leave me some comments. Let me know if you got grapes, or if you got any questions about them. I'll do my best to answer them. I'm getting out of here. I got to go dry off. Love you guys to death. We'll see y'all on the next video.